Business Partner B1 Coursebook, published by Pearson. Copyright Pearson Education Limited, 2018. Unit 1, Recording 1.
In this part of the show, I'm talking to organisation consultant Janet Wood. Janet, the tall organisation structure is still typical in companies today, isn't it?
Yes, and this traditional pyramid hierarchy has many problems.
Such as?
Well, decision-making is generally slow. This type of company can be very bureaucratic and inefficient. It's slow to change and innovate, which is a real danger in today's world.
But is there really any alternative in a large corporation?
Yes, there are examples of successful, innovative organizations which do things differently. One of the most famous is W.L. Gore, a multinational manufacturing company.
W.L. Gore is probably best known for the fabric Gore-Tex, isn't it?
That's right. Bill and Genevieve Gore started the company in the USA back in the 1950s with a flat structure. Today, the company still has no traditional organizational chart. Gore believes that if people are passionate about their work, they're going to be highly self-motivated.
So how does the company operate?
Well, there are over 10,000 employees in 30 countries, divided into teams of 8 to 12 people, who work on projects and products together. The staff at Gore are actually called associates. They don't have job titles. And they don't have managers. Instead, they choose to follow leaders. Basically, you decide what you're going to contribute to the team, and you establish your own work and pay.
I hear the associates actually elected the company's chief executive, Terry Kelly.
Yes, she's one of the few people at the company who has a job title.
There's been a lot of talk in the business news recently about a concept called holacracy. Can you tell us what that is exactly?
Yes, the expression comes from the Greek word holos, meaning whole. Holacracy is essentially a system with no bosses at all.
How does this manager-free system work in practice?
Well, it's probably too early to know. Just 2 years ago, Zappos, the U.S. online shoe and clothes store, which was started in 1999, introduced holacracy. Now, all the functions of the company have been delegated to teams called circles. Zappos has about 1,600 employees distributed among some 500 circles. Each circle has a lead link who has a similar role to a project manager.
Does this person, the lead link, decide who does what tasks?
No, circle members decide their roles and responsibilities in meetings. Larger teams have circles within circles. Staff can either start a new circle or join a circle depending on the type of work they'd like to do.
Sounds complicated.
Yes. The CEO of Zappos, Tony Hsieh, says it could take another 2 to 5 years to complete the transition. In fact, Zappos has a training session next week called a culture camp, and I'm flying to Las Vegas tomorrow for that.
I'm sure that's going to be a very interesting experience. Janet, thank you for coming into the studio today.
Unit 1, Optional Extension Activity, Recording 1. 1.
Well, decision-making is generally slow.
2.
This type of company can be very bureaucratic and inefficient.
3.
There are examples of successful, innovative organizations which do things differently.
4.
W.L. Gore is probably best known for the fabric Gore-Tex, isn't it?
5.
Today, the company still has no traditional organizational chart.
6.
She's one of the few people at the company who has a job title.
7.
Now all the functions of the company have been delegated to teams called circles.
8.
Staff can either start a new circle or join a circle.
Unit 1. Recording 2.
Hi, Juliana. What time does the department meeting start tomorrow?
At 10 o'clock as usual, but I think I'm going to be about 15 minutes late. I have a dentist's appointment.
Are you going to be able to talk after your trip to the dentist's?
Yes, it's just a checkup. In fact, I'm giving a presentation on the company restructuring.
I'm sure that's going to be interesting. Is it true we're moving to offices outside the city?
I'm not going to tell you anything before the meeting. You know that.
Well, I'm going to sit right at the front. I don't want to miss anything.
Unit 1. Recording 3.
First meetings in an international business setting can often be difficult. Two strangers come together. Often they both have to speak a foreign language, English. So you have strangers who aren't sure what to say to each other, and they aren't sure how to say it. The result is pretty predictable, a difficult silence. Now, silence isn't necessarily bad. In some cultures, silence is good. It's positive because it signals respect. But for me, if you want to get to know someone, to understand them as a person and as a professional, which is essential for doing business together, then silence is a risk because you stop this process. If you want to learn about the other person and build a relationship, you need to ask questions. And this is the real value of asking questions. You learn stuff about the other person. So, which questions do you ask? I would say, in terms of style, keep it short and simple. Just ask simple starter questions. If you are meeting a visitor, you can say things like, "Did you have a good trip? Is this your first time here?" These kinds of questions are good because they allow an easy answer. They're not too personal, but they can quickly break the ice and get the conversation flowing. You know, sometimes the specific questions don't really matter. You just ask a question to get the ball rolling. And then it's important to ask follow-up questions. If you don't, small talk can feel very mechanical. In terms of what you ask about in those first few minutes, I think in business you need to have a mix of personal and work topics. On the work side, asking about roles and responsibilities is good, and the organization behind the person and where people work and travel. All these questions are easy to answer and give you useful background. And if you listen to what people tell you, you'll find more ideas for other questions. And all this asking questions, well, it builds understanding and in the end, trust. Remember, it's impossible to trust someone if you don't know them well. And how can you know them well? You've got to ask questions. Oh, one final thing. If possible, find something you have in common with the other person. Maybe you visited the same place, you like the same food, the same music or sport. When you and the other person have similar interests, the conversation often goes better.
Unit 1. Recording 4.
Hi, is it Eva?
Yes,
Hi, Eva. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
thank you. It's nice to be here.
Did you have a good trip? Hotel okay?
Yes, no problems. I haven't seen the hotel yet. I came straight here from the airport.
Okay, well, follow me. My office is just through this door. So, here we are. Can I take your coat?
Thank you.
Good. Take a seat. Can I offer you something to drink? Coffee? Tea?
Just water would be nice, thanks.
Okay. Here you go. So, is it your first time here in the London office?
Yes, it is. But I've been to London once before.
Okay, for work?
No, just a holiday that time.
So, where do you work exactly? Are you in the Zurich office at the moment?
Yes, I'm responsible for sales support there. I work 20% in Geneva, though.
Okay, and do you report to Paul Bleckner?
Yes, I do. You know him?
Yes, I worked with him on a sales project last year. I was thinking of inviting him to join us later. Are you free for dinner this evening?
Yes, that would be nice.
Fine, so I'll organize that. And funny, you know, I also worked in Geneva. When did you join the company?
End of last year.
Okay, then I just missed you. I moved to this job here in October. So, you know, I'm now head of customer service and also this new international project around service excellence, which is why we're here.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to this project. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm ready.
It's really good to have you on the project. So, shall we make a start? I know you have a busy schedule and lots of other people to meet.
Unit 2, Recording 1. Speaker 1.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Hawkins, and what I want to do today is give you a short introduction to the company. I won't take more than 10 minutes because we have a lot to get through today, but if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt.
Speaker 2.
I would like to start by offering a very warm welcome to everyone here today. Thank you very much for coming. I know many of you have travelled a long way to be here. As you know, I'm Pam Ellis, Managing Director here. What I want to do today is give you an introduction to the company. Firstly, a little information on operations. Secondly, more about the people. And finally, the culture we have here. But to begin, I want to look at operations.
Speaker 3.
Good morning. I'm Paolo Orlandi, Managing Director of Production here. Sorry for my poor English, but I must, before we take a tour of the factory, give you an introduction to health and safety, so that everyone is safe here. Please, do ask questions if there is anything you don't understand. I know some things I say may not be so clear, but it's important everyone understands what to do and what not to do in the production area. So please ask me questions. Any questions, anytime, if anything is not clear. I'd like to start with some rules on where you can walk and where not to walk. As you can see, this ramp over here.
Unit 2, Recording 2. Speaker 1.
So before I begin and tell you why I'm here, I would like to start with why you are here. And how can I know that? Well, I asked a couple of you during coffee this morning. Jackie, over there, yes, she wants to learn about which countries we are active in. She wants to work abroad one day. Good, I'll talk about that. Peter, he's a finance guy and wants to know more on the numbers. Are we profitable? Important question, Peter, and I'll talk about finance too. And Samir, the interest there is how to become a leader as quickly as possible. And I will talk about that too, what kind of organization we are and what kind of people do well here.
Speaker 2.
To begin, before I say anything, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Find out what you know about this organisation. Who knows how many people work here? OK, put your hand up if you know the answer to these questions. Which countries are we active in? OK. What are our main products? So, not so many of you. That's fine. That's why I'm here. My name's Pam Ellis, and I want to tell you a little bit about our company.
Speaker 3.
Now to start, I'd like to share a story with you about a young man around 20 years ago who was sitting right where you are standing, new to the company, a little nervous on the first day, not knowing what to expect. Well, that was, as you can probably guess, me all those years ago. On that day, I listened, and I continued to listen and learn, and now I'm managing director. So, welcome.
Unit 2, Recording 3.
So let's begin with the most important part of the company, and that's its people. And there are 3 important points I want to make here. Firstly, we're a very young company. It was set up only 3 years ago, and the average age is only 29. This means we're fresh and energetic, and we really like innovation, which is our main strength. Secondly, we're a small company, with only 56 people at the moment. This is also important because we want to stay personal. People know each other here. We have a family atmosphere, which our customers also feel and love about us. And finally, and as I said earlier during lunch to some of you, we are very international. In fact, we now have 20 different nationalities in the company, working in 5 countries. For me, on a personal note and speaking very openly, this is important, as I believe very much in being international and the value of working across different cultures. So if you can take a look at this slide, you will see the nationalities in the company. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Truly international. Great. Yes, a question.
Is the company growing? Getting more international?
Great question. Really good question. In a number of ways. Yes, we are growing, probably to around 65 people this year, but I don't want to grow much more or we become too big, too much a large corporation. So yes, but no. We are small. We want to be small, and we plan to stay small. But I'll say more about that a little later. Are there any other questions now on that? So I'll close there. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll hand over to Paul to tell you something about products and services.
Unit 3, Recording 1. 1.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
2.
Are you working at the moment?
3.
How long have you worked as a chemical engineer?
4.
Do you have any experience in green technologies?
5.
Why would you like to work for us?
6.
What would you do on your first day at work?
7.
Do you have your original certificates with you?
8.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Unit 3, Recording 2. 1.
You've told me about your strengths. Can you tell me what your greatest weakness is?
2.
Could you tell me about your work experience?
3.
You write in your CV that you have good leadership skills. Can you tell me about a time when you showed leadership skills?
4.
Although you have the right qualifications, you don't have much work experience in this sector. I'd like to know if you've ever done any voluntary work.
5.
Could you tell me how you would add value to our company?
6.
This job involves visiting wastewater facilities around the country. I'd like to know if you are prepared to travel for the job.
7.
Right, finally, I'd like to know who I should contact for a reference.
Unit 3, Recording 3. 1.
You've told me about your strengths. Can you tell me what your greatest weakness is?
I'm not sure, but my friends tell me I'm quite demanding.
Are you a bit of a perfectionist?
I don't know. Sometimes, perhaps.
Anything else?
2.
Could you tell me about your work experience?
I'm afraid I don't have much experience, but I have a PhD in wastewater management.
3.
You write in your CV that you have good leadership skills. Can you tell me about a time when you showed leadership skills?
Sure. I was responsible for a large team of researchers while I was doing my PhD in the States. And in my last job, I was the assistant project manager for a wastewater facility. That was a temporary position because someone was on maternity leave.
4.
Although you have the right qualifications, you don't have much experience in this sector. I'd like to know if you've ever done any voluntary work.
Let me think now. Well, when I was at university, I did voluntary work visiting schools. I was working on a project together with teachers and children, raising awareness about water consumption and wastewater processes.
I see.
5.
How would you add value to our company?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Could you tell me how you would add value to our company?
That's a difficult question. As I said before, I think I'm highly qualified for the job. I'm a fast learner and I'm really passionate about green technologies. It isn't just a job, it's a lifestyle.
6.
This job involves visiting wastewater facilities around the country. I'd like to know if you are prepared to travel for the job.
Yes, of course. That will be very interesting.
7.
Right. Finally, I'd like to know who I should contact for a reference, in case we decide to offer you the job.
References? Well, there are 2 or 3 contacts. I'll need to check and get back to you. Is that all right?
Fine. Do you have any questions for me?
Unit 3, Recording 4. Interview 1. Max.
Thanks for coming in today, Max. So, tell me, why do you think you're the right person for this job?
Well, I'm hard-working, I'm flexible, I'm good at working with colleagues and customers, and I have the relevant experience and skills.
OK, that all sounds good. Have you ever worked in a regional sales team?
No, I haven't.
Oh, OK. Do you have a driving licence?
Not yet.
I see. If you get this job, you will need to have a driving licence. So, you've told me about your strengths and experience. Can you tell me about your weaknesses?
Well, I'm not very organised, like with paperwork and other things.
I see.
So, what are the next steps? When can I expect to hear from you?
Interview 2. John.
Thank you for coming in today, John. I invited you here because Anna has told me a lot about you and your abilities.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for your time today.
Of course. So tell me, why do you think you're the right person for this job?
Well, I'm hardworking, I'm flexible, I'm good at working with both colleagues and customers, and I have the relevant experience and skills.
OK, that all sounds good. Have you ever worked in a regional sales team?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't, but I do have many transferable skills. I've worked in different local offices of the same company, so I understand the balance between local and regional priorities. So, while my experience is local, I have a good awareness of the sales focus from regional perspectives too. I've also indirectly supported a regional project with local information.
That's good. Anna told me about the project you worked on. So, moving on, do you have a driving licence?
It's good you asked that. I'm currently learning to drive, and I have my test in 2 weeks' time.
OK, that's good. If you get this job, you will need to have a driving licence. Now, you've told me about your strengths and experience. Can you tell me about your weaknesses?
Well, I'm very good at dealing with people, which, as you know, is essential in sales. But I sometimes struggle with the administrative work and paperwork. I am aware of this, though, and I'm working on it so that I can improve.
OK, it's good that you're working on this. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. Could you tell me what a normal day or week in this job would be like?
Sure. It would start at about 8 o'clock, and initially what you'll be doing is filling out...
Unit 4, Recording 1. Part 1.
Why is it difficult for companies to plan for the future? Because it isn't easy to know what's going to happen in this complex world we live in. How can a business ever know what will have an impact on its performance and success? In today's session, we'll look at a popular tool to plan business strategy called PEST analysis. That's P-E-S-T. PEST is an acronym, and the 4 letters stand for the different types of external factors that a business has to face and generally has no control over. By external factors, I mean influences outside a company that can, however, impact a business. So, what do the letters P-E-S-T stand for? Well, P stands for political, as you might guess. E means economic. S stands for social factors. And finally, T refers to technological factors. I should mention there is also an extended version of PEST analysis called PESTLE. That's P-E-S-T-L-E, which puts legal and environmental factors into additional categories. Anyway, going back to PEST, let's look at some examples we can put into each category so you get a clearer picture. Then later, I'll get you to apply PEST analysis to a company you know well. You don't have to take notes, as all of this information is on the intranet.
Unit 4, Recording 2. Part 2.
So, examples of political factors are the stability or instability of governments in a company's markets, which will affect business growth. Another example is the employment laws in each country, which are obviously decided by politicians. And thirdly, corporate taxes, also decided by government. Economic factors are often closely related. An economic recession is clearly going to affect demand for a company's products. High inflation is going to affect costs and prices. A third example is exchange rates, which will affect exports and imports. Social factors, as the name suggests, are about people and society. For example, changing consumer preferences and the age demographics of the population can affect demand for products. Also, is the population growing? And how fast? As for technological factors, we all know the impact technology has on our lives. Businesses have to analyze the possible uses of emerging technologies, for instance, automation on production lines. Another example is the impact of the Internet, such as online shopping. And thirdly, the smartphone revolution, which allows a company to reach customers faster than ever.
Unit 4, Recording 3. Part 3.
Obviously, a pest analysis is not only about collecting lots of data. The next step is to prioritize the most relevant factors and identify any business opportunities these offer. For example, can a new technology improve production processes and reduce costs? It's also crucial to identify any significant risks or threats to the business. For instance, if consumer demand is falling in one part of its market, should the company develop new product lines? Finally, managers have to go beyond analysis into action. A company mustn't miss any opportunities for the business, so these must form part of the business plan. If there are significant threats, the company must come up with a strategy to deal with these risks too. I should mention that PEST is used with other tools, which also analyze internal factors, but we won't go into that today. Okay, let's look at a pest analysis of a well-known footwear company.
Unit 4, Recording 4.
Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you all here today. Now, what I want to look at today is a problem. A nice problem in a way, but a problem. The fact that we are now getting a lot of telephone and email inquiries from new countries. Belgium and France, and Germany, of course, but also the Czech Republic, Poland and Hungary. I think the new website is helping. It's very attractive and it's generating traffic. But it is creating a problem.
Can you explain again what the problem is, exactly? New customers, that isn't a problem, is it?
No, the problem is that in many of the emails that people are sending, particularly, but also some phone calls, people are not using English. And we don't have the skills in-house to deal with customer inquiries in Polish and Czech, etc.
Okay, so the real problem is a lack of language competence here in the company, which we need to solve, or we will lose potential customers. I guess that's the point.
Exactly. So I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to discuss this. Any ideas?
Would it be possible to train our people here to use different languages? It's a cost, but it's a solution.
Okay. Intensive training could be a solution. I'll note that down. Thanks. What else can we do? Bibi?
How about using a call center service for different languages? People who call us, they can choose the language they work with, and we contact a call center to handle first contacts, and then they contact our sales staff.
That sounds like a possible solution.
Okay, but I'm not sure how that would work. If we do that, it will just increase our costs.
Let's just stick with ideas for the moment. So, Annette, anything to add?
Maybe we recruit some people with the languages we need.
I think that's a nice idea. Simple and doable. I don't know the cost, but I like the fact that we might be able to do it relatively quickly.
Unit 4, Recording 5.
So, are there any more ideas? No? Well, I think recruitment is the best option.
Why do you think recruitment is the solution?
Well, we are looking for new salespeople anyway. At least 2. And so it's a very easy thing to just add languages to the profile required.
I'm not sure that it's the best solution. I prefer training.
Bibi, just building on Roel's idea, I think it's easier to hire someone than train them in language skills. For our staff to learn Czech or Hungarian, it would take a very long time. Years.
You may be right.
Okay. Then I think We need to look at recruitment as the quick solution. Agreed?
Okay, I can live with this.
Yes.
Agreed.
Shall I take this on, or do any of you have time to do this? Annette, you normally handle people topics.
Do you want me to do that? I'm happy to take it on.
Great. So, if you could get a job description done by the end of this week for us to discuss, then we can advertise next week, maybe hire by the end of the month. Problem solved in, 3 weeks?
If you need any help with this, just ask, Annette. It's quite a lot of work.
Great, thanks.
Great. That's what I love about you guys. Such a great team.
Unit 5, Recording 1.
Anders, good to see you again. Are you well?
Not bad. Just back from a weekend to see family in Copenhagen.
Very nice. We're just in here. Please take a seat. Coffee?
No, I'm fine with water, thanks.
Please help yourself. So, firstly, I should apologise for pushing. I really needed to have this meeting this morning. So, sorry about the very short notice. But we have some new financial objectives in the company from the board, so I have a lot to do on this end by the end of the month. All very urgent.
No problem. We need to discuss next year anyway.
We do. So, as I said in my email to you, I think there are some important things we need to talk about. What I'd like to discuss today is, firstly, of course, price of service. Secondly, our cancellation policy. We have more and more cancellations, and we need to discuss how to handle this.
Okay.
Thirdly, quality. You know, we've had a few issues with late taxi pickups. Some hotels have been a little below standard.
Okay, very happy to talk about that.
To start, I'd like to hear from you first. We talked about these topics last time we met. Was it the end of last month? And you said you would have some discussions with your management. So perhaps it's useful to update first on how that went, and you can give me your first ideas on these topics.
Unit 5, Recording 2.
Yes, we did have some discussions. So, okay, firstly, let me just check here. Yes, okay. On the pricing side, my proposal would be that we go with an inflation-level price rise, which means just 2%. Because I think we both appreciate that the economic situation is difficult, so I think this is probably fair to both of us. On the cancellation side, the policy is currently that you need to inform us 8 hours before a taxi or a flight needs to be cancelled, or we will charge you for the booking. This is something we want to keep. We think 8 hours is reasonable. And then on the quality side, well, which is more on hotels, we only book as per your instructions, 3 or 4-star hotels, and we use the national rating system as a guide. The problem we find with hotels and experience of hotels, some people like one hotel and some people another. I realize some people are unhappy with some of the 3 stars, but some are happy. So we would recommend no change here.
We've had some very unhappy executives.
I realize that, but as I said, in some of the same hotels, we have happy executives, even from your company. So I think this is more around what some people like and don't like, and it's not really a quality issue. So how does that all sound to you?
Thanks for that. So, going through the 3 points, just to clarify, do you mean a 2% increase on both taxi and hotel accommodation prices?
Yes, that's right.
OK, I think the 2%, that's a little high. We were hoping for something lower. Would you consider 1.5%? That is more or less in line with the current company policy on vendor prices. Before you answer that, on the flight cancellation side, because business is less and less predictable and more trips are being cancelled,
We need to agree a different policy on this. We're paying for too many cancelled flights. My proposal would be that we go to 3 hours pre-warning of a flight problem from our side. I think that would really help us. Most trips are cancelled the morning of travel, so 3 hours would deal with this fine.
But 3 hours is very short notice.
It is, but it's reality. So we need to find a way around this. On the hotel quality side, I think we need to change how we do things and just go for 4-star instead of 3-star. Assuming we did this, we would want a 3-star price on all our bookings. I think this is justified by the volume of bookings.
Unit 5, Recording 3.
Okay, thanks for this. I think this is very fair overall. On pricing, I can agree to 1.5%. We will need to review it again in the future, but for next year, fine. On the flight cancellation problem, your proposal is very difficult for us to accept. If we make a flight booking and then cancel it, we have a cost. This isn't something we can accept.
Okay, but then you need to negotiate with the airlines.
We do talk to the airlines, of course, but they're not always so flexible. And any negotiation on this takes time, so it's very difficult for me to accept this shift to 3 hours. We could maybe go to 6.
6? Okay, that might work. It's better than the 8. It makes it easier to cancel on the day of travel. So, let's agree to that.
Okay, good. And then on hotels, I think we can do this, but we will need to limit the range of hotels. That will help us to be more flexible on price. You have a big choice of hotels in some locations. Can we change this to 2 hotels per location, for example?
That seems reasonable. Okay, fine. 2 hotels per location. I think we have 6 in some cases, and that's too many.
Okay, good. Yes, so 2 hotels per city location, and we have a deal.
Unit 5, Recording 4.
So, is that everything?
Yes, I think we have an agreement. We said that prices would go up by 1.5%. We agreed to change flight cancellation time without penalty to 6 hours before scheduled travel.
Correct.
And we are going for 4-star hotels at 3-star rates, but with just 2 hotels per location.
Yes.
What do we agree as the 3-star rate?
But that's actually going to be difficult because the rates actually vary a lot. Can we take the average 3-star hotel rate in that location, just to use as a benchmark?
Fine. Great. So thanks very much, Anders. If you confirm that in an email to me, then I will get agreement internally with my manager. Then we can draw up a new contract.
Very good. I'll email you by the end of this week.
Excellent. Well, that was quick and efficient. We have a little time for you to tell me all about your weekend in Copenhagen.
Unit 6, Recording 1. 1.
What do you like doing in your free time?
2.
I like hanging out with friends.
3.
Do you have any previous work or voluntary experience?
4.
I take the dog for a walk every day.
5.
What do you think you'll be doing in 5 years' time?
6.
I've never thought about that.
Unit 6, Optional Extension Activity, Recording 1.
I think there are some unique challenges for young entrepreneurs like me.
What do you think they are?
I had to find finance, which is harder because I had no experience. And I had to learn how to manage a team and be a good boss.
Do you think it's stressful?
It can be, but I have learned ways to deal with it.
Unit 6, Recording 2. Part 1. The Overview.
In this next part of my presentation, I'm going to tell you more about the target market for our new company, as well as market growth and our forecast for the next quarter. As you know, we produce specialist and high-end cases for mobile phones, tablets, and laptops in a range of sizes for each product line. On this slide, you can see 3 charts. This pie chart shows us the age demographic of our target customers. You can see which ages the colors refer to on the right. You'll notice that the 18 to 25-year-old age group is our biggest target group. Next, you can see the growth of our market in terms of annual revenue on this line graph. The main point is that the mobile case sector is both our largest and fastest growing sector. Finally, on this bar chart, you can see the stock levels we have and our forecast for the next quarter year. At the end of Q4, we'll have this much stock, and you can see from our projected sales that we're not going to have enough. We'll need more stock to be able to fulfill the orders that will come in. For that reason, we need a short-term loan so that we can buy more stock. I'd now like to hand over to my colleague, who will give you more details.
Part 2. The Details.
So, coming back to the growth development graph, it is significant that the growth of the tablet product line has been slow and the laptop line has fallen slightly. On the other hand, you can see that the mobile sector has risen sharply and is projected to continue. These details confirm that mobile devices in general are outselling both tablets and laptops combined. I'd also like to show you something on the customer age demographic pie chart. Although our cases are high-end and not exactly cheap, it's interesting to see that almost half of our customers are in the 18 to 25 age group, and almost a quarter are in the 25 to 30 age group. This means that around 70% of our customers are in the 18 to 30 age group and are willing to pay high-end prices for our cases. This fact proves that our cases are highly desirable for this age group and they're willing to spend even though they might not have a lot of disposable income. The last thing I want you to think about is our current stock levels. The stock is the quantity of product we have ready to sell in our warehouse. Looking more closely at the bar chart, you can see that we have greatly underestimated the growth of the mobile sector. For that reason, we don't have enough stock to meet the demand. We need more, but we'll need money, like a loan, to be able to buy more stock. If we can secure this loan, we will be investing in further stock, especially mobile cases. We see mobile cases as the big winner for the next 2 years at least.
Unit 6, Recording 3. Part 2. The Details.
So, coming back to the growth development graph, it is significant that the growth of the tablet product line has been slow and the laptop line has fallen slightly. On the other hand, you can see that the mobile sector has risen sharply and is projected to continue. These details confirm that mobile devices in general are outselling both tablets and laptops combined. I'd also like to show you something on the customer age demographic pie chart.
Although our cases are high-end and not exactly cheap, it's interesting to see that almost half of our customers are in the 18 to 25 age group, and almost a quarter are in the 25 to 30 age group. This means that around 70% of our customers are in the 18 to 30 age group and are willing to pay high-end prices for our cases. This fact proves that our cases are highly desirable for this age group and they're willing to spend even though they might not have a lot of disposable income. The last thing I want you to think about is our current stock levels. The stock is the quantity of product we have ready to sell in our warehouse. Looking more closely at the bar chart, you can see that we have greatly underestimated the growth of the mobile sector. For that reason, we don't have enough stock to meet the demand. We need more, but we'll need money, like a loan, to be able to buy more stock. If we can secure this loan, we will be investing in further stock, especially mobile cases. We see mobile cases as the big winner for the next 2 years at least.
Unit 6, Recording 4.
Good evening, everyone. I'm George Johnson, and I started my business, G.J. Wood Toys, while I was still working at my full-time job at an estate agent's, selling houses. Although I quite liked my job, ever since my kids were born, I'd been making wooden toys for them as a hobby. But then other parents saw the toys and wanted to buy them, and kept telling me that I should set up my own business. I started by selling the toys at craft fairs, and they sold out every time. My target market was enormous, parents and their children, because kids are usually the ones to persuade the parents to part with their money. Parents like something that is well-made, durable, reliable and above all safe, and the bright colours and versatility of each piece appeals to the children. It looked like we were onto a winner. I continued making the toys in my garage for a while, but then when a couple of local stores approached me, I realised that I needed funding to expand my production and move into slightly larger premises. In order to do this, and invest in more tools and employ more people, I had to use family savings and remortgage my house, which was a big risk because I could have lost all their money. However, it wasn't long after this that a big department store became interested in the toys after one of their directors had bought some at a craft fair. Well, they started talking about placing an order for 50,000 units. It was at this point that I realised I had a potentially very successful product on my hands. However, this next step would require a huge investment, and I just didn't have the money. With the promise of the order from the store, I tried pitching to various potential backers to find the funding. The bank wasn't interested, so I started looking at the possibility of crowdfunding, although I eventually decided against this. I also talked to business angels. I was very lucky to meet a business angel who'd been looking for a startup to invest in, and he brought not only the investment needed, but a wealth of experience too.
Unit 6, Recording 5.
So, I know you're interested to hear any advice I can give you about setting up your own business. I think it's different for everyone, but there are some common points you need to focus on. Firstly, in the early days, it's very important to believe passionately in your product or service. If you don't believe in it, you won't be able to sell it. You have to love what you do. Once you know that you love the product, conduct as extensive market research as you can and listen to people's feedback. It's no good trying to take a product or service to market if nobody's going to be interested. Thirdly, I think that good planning is key.
especially time management, but also planning every step of the journey. A good plan acts as a map for your business. And if something fails, you can go back to the drawing board and redraw that map. The best piece of advice someone gave me at the beginning was to be open to advice. But remember that not all advice will be helpful, so if it doesn't feel right for you, ignore it. And don't be afraid to ask for advice or help when you need it. Remember, you're not an expert in everything. Another vital thing is to manage your finances carefully and make sure you know how your money's being used, how much you're spending and earning at all times. As you get bigger and the amounts of money involved get larger, and the money is no longer just yours, this becomes even more important. So, start off as you mean to go on. Oh, and talking about money, if you end up working with large retailers like me, don't let them beat you down on unit prices, as they'll always try to push the price down as far as they can. When you know what price works for you, stick to it. If the retailers want to sell your product, you know it must be good, so don't give it away. With everything else that's going on, don't forget your customer. The customer is the source of your inspiration and rewards, so developing close customer relations is absolutely vital. As soon as you start forgetting the customer, your business is likely to begin to fail. Oh, furthermore, the frightening thing is that suddenly you become a leader, and managing a company and its personnel is not easy. So, my advice to you here is to learn to trust your key people and delegate work appropriately. When you've been the only one responsible for everything for so long, I think this is the hardest thing to do, handing it over to others. And finally, above all, never underestimate how hard it is to succeed. You'll probably find yourself working harder than you've ever worked in your life.
Unit 7, Recording 1. Speaker 1.
Let me tell you about my experience of working abroad. At the time, I was working as the regional financial director of a construction company with a division in India. Part of my job consisted of meeting senior bank executives to arrange bank guarantees and credit facilities. Once, I went to a meeting with the chairman of a bank in Mumbai, and when I went into his office, I was surprised to see a shrine set up on the table where discussions were going to take place, and incense was burning in the room. After the customary greetings and introductions, the chairman then turned on some chanting music. I asked what the music was, and he told me that it was Indian mantra music to help create a good atmosphere in the meeting. The Indians believed it encouraged a positive outcome. It was quite a different experience to doing business back at home. I had never seen this kind of thing before. Another thing is that in countries like India, employees will hardly ever tell their bosses that something is not possible. Saying no is often considered loss of face. By loss of face, I mean embarrassing a person in front of others, or offending them, and this can of course lead to problems in the workplace. While I was working in India, I often experienced this problem firsthand. For instance, employees didn't report problems because they didn't want to give a bad impression to their bosses.
Speaker 2.
While I was living in Kenya, I discovered that optimism is highly valued in Kenyan society. It's reflected in the popular catchphrase Hakuna Matata, which means no worries. This idea of Hakuna Matata sometimes caused conflict at work and led to missed deadlines. You know, people didn't finish a task or a report by a given time. When I was working in the office in Nairobi, workers preferred to agree to deadlines without questioning them. Later, they admitted that they couldn't meet the deadline, even if they had previously agreed to it. I found it very frustrating. On the other hand, being surrounded by optimistic people helped lighten the office atmosphere and often diffuse stressful situations. So, that was the positive side of Hakuna Matata.
Speaker 3.
While I was working as a supervisor in a call center in Delhi for a multinational, I had to report to my boss in Los Angeles. It was very stressful working in customer service. We had to deal with complaints on a daily basis. The last week of the month, my American boss was insisting on me sending a report with our latest figures for resolving complaints, and I had promised to send them to him. But then we got very busy. A lot of my co-workers had fallen ill with a virus that was going round, and I was working really hard. I was going to work early and I was leaving late at night to cover for them. So I didn't have time to reply to my boss. It was unlucky because he had wanted the figures by the end of the month, but I had to prioritize. Then he started sending me urgent emails with red flags and written in big capital letters, and that was the equivalent of shouting at me. He had also copied in my colleagues. I mean, he shouldn't have written in capital letters, right? He should have picked up the phone and talked to me. Of course, that wasn't easy because of the time difference. And I know Americans are stricter about time, but he didn't have to shame me like that. Thinking about it, I wanted to create a good impression because the company culture was very competitive. So I didn't explain all the problems we were having. That was my mistake. But the worst thing was he had copied in all the team. It made me look really bad. It was so embarrassing. I couldn't work there after that. So I quit my job. I didn't go in the next day.
Unit 7, Recording 2. Part 1.
Hello. Hi, I'm Peter. I'm from D2 Logistics.
I'm Tadashi.
Nice to meet you, Tadashi. So, I'm a finance specialist. What do you do? Are you working on any interesting projects?
I'm in marketing. I design marketing campaigns.
Oh. So what do you think of the elections? Who do you think will win?
I don't know.
But you must have an idea. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Pilar.
Hello, Pilar. It's nice to meet you. I'm Peter.
It's nice to meet you too, Peter.
Hello, I'm Tadashi.
So, Pilar, what do you do?
I'm an accountant during the day, and I play in a local band at weekends in Mexico City. That's where I live at the moment. We practice a lot during the week, which doesn't give me too much time with my family. I have 2 brothers, and we all still live at home.
You are an accountant, really? I am a finance specialist. Who do you work for?
I work for ACC Products. I'm a property accountant.
Okay. I don't know much about property. Well, I think I'll go back to the buffet to get some more.
Unit 7, Recording 3. Part 2.
So, Tadashi, you are in marketing. What sort of campaigns do you design?
I'm working on one at the moment for a hotel chain. We are making ads that will run in planes. On the little screens. Is that okay?
Sure. That project sounds really interesting. I saw ads like that the last time I flew on holiday.
Maybe they were my ads.
Yeah, maybe. It's a very good place to run ads. Everyone on the plane sees them.
Yes, we try to make the ads specific to the country, if possible. And we always try to put in a little humor.
Ah, yes. Flying and going through airports can be stressful. It's good to have a little humor.
So, Peter, where did you go on holiday?
I went to Brazil. It was a very long flight, but I had a really nice time with my family. It was a special trip for my father's 60th birthday.
Great.
You know, I also have two brothers like you. One older and one younger.
So you're in the middle then?
Yes, that's it.
Unit 7, Recording 4, Part 3.
Well, that was a really nice evening. At the beginning, it felt a bit awkward. It wasn't that easy to talk to Tadashi or Pilar. I thought that Tadashi's English wasn't very good, and that he was shy and insecure. But I was making assumptions, and I was wrong on both points. He was quite fluent and very enthusiastic when we were talking about things he likes and he's good at. He thinks a lot about what other people say before he reacts. When I realized that, I stopped talking so much. Then he had more time to think, and he spoke more too. And Pilar, I didn't really take her seriously at first. I thought she just wanted to talk about her free time. But when I stopped talking about work and talked about my family and travel, the conversation really developed. We connected more, and then it was easier to find out more about her job and what she does. I guess first impressions can often be wrong, especially with people from different cultures. Anyway, I'm glad I adapted my approach and got to know them a bit better.
Unit 8, Recording 1. Part 1, Beginning the Meeting.
Thanks everyone for coming to this special meeting today.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Sure.
There is a management meeting at the end of the month, and I have to present a short update on our team and our current project. I called this meeting because I need your help to prepare the presentation, and I want to give the most accurate update, while also representing the successes our team has had recently.
Okay, how can we help?
Well, ideally, the goal for this meeting is to decide which information we want to present to senior management, and which tasks each of you will do to prepare.
Okay, sounds good.
So, we have 1 hour. Let's start by first focusing on our goal in a little more detail. Then I'd like to collect your ideas on what we should present. After that, we can discuss your ideas and mine. Next, we'll choose the best options, and then finally we can assign tasks for each of you to do in advance of the management meeting. Does that process sound all right?
Yes.
Okay, let's begin by thinking about the management meeting and what our goal actually is.
Unit 8, Recording 2. Part 2, Dealing with Interruptions.
So I think we should include some information about the delay in finishing the new designs.
No. We shouldn't do that. We don't want to draw attention to our mistakes. I think we should focus on different facts of the...
Philippe, I understand what you're saying is important, but please let Angela finish. We can come to you next, okay?
Okay, sure, fine.
Okay, Angela, back to you. Could you try to limit your overview to about 2 minutes? We need to keep an eye on the clock.
No problem, thanks, John. So, as I was saying, I think we should at least explain that there were delays because they had an effect on the next steps of the project, which meant that we all had to work overtime to get back on track.
Yes, that's a good idea. I'll need to explain the increase in costs due to overtime. Okay, back to you, Philippe.
Thanks, John. Well, as I was trying to say, we need to be careful about the negative information we present. We don't want to focus on the negative elements of the past, risk getting in trouble, or even worse, we could have our budgets cut.
Wait a minute. Who said anything about budgets being cut?
Don't interrupt me, Bettina.
Okay, you two, take it easy. I know you're both passionate about this, but we need to allow each other time to speak.
Yes, I agree. And I am not finished. I just wanted to say that I think we should instead focus on the fact that we ran into some difficulties, but we got the designs finished and the project is now running smoothly.
Okay, thanks, Philippe. Good idea.
I need my budget to pay for the market research we already agreed on.
Bettina, I understand your concern, but the market research has already been commissioned and the results are also expected back next week. No one has said we need to reduce the budgets. The market research results aren't on today's agenda, so can we talk about that when the results come back in? In the meantime, can you give us a brief update on what you'll be working on in the project for the next couple of weeks?
Unit 8, Recording 3. Part 3, Closing the Meeting.
Thanks, everyone. This has been a very productive meeting. It was useful to talk through both our successes and areas for concern. I need to be able to present a realistic but positive picture of our team's activity at the management meeting.
Thanks, John. Yes, it's been good to talk through everything.
Okay, so the action points from this meeting are, Angela, you'll prepare 2 slides on the designs update. I'll mention that there were delays that we are now on top of, but the main focus should be on the positive outcome of the designs and the next steps.
Right.
Philippe, you'll prepare an overview of the media campaign we're planning and the timeline for what will happen.
Okay.
And Bettina, you'll prepare an overview of the market research results. Hopefully they'll confirm what we think about the market and give some further information.
Sure. I hope to have them on Wednesday, so that will give me time to review them and send you the most important points.
Great. So, is everyone okay with their tasks?
Sure.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions about what they have to do? Or need any support?
No.
Okay, great. And I'll prepare some brief information on the overall timeline and where we expect to be in the next 2 months. Let's meet again to finalise everything at 2 p.m. on Friday next week. Please send me your completed tasks before close of business on Thursday.
Sure.
No problem.
Fine.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Business Workshop 1. Recording 1. Speaker 1.
As the company's grown, we've squeezed more and more people into the same space. It's just so cramped now, and people have different work styles. I don't like being tied down to a desk all the time. Moving around helps me to think, like when I'm talking to people on the phone. But this open plan office makes this impossible for me to do without disturbing other people. Likewise, it's sometimes difficult for me to do any work where I really have to concentrate due to noise levels and visual distractions. It'd be great to have a more flexible work environment, more meeting rooms, breakout spaces for teamwork, and quiet zones where you can work alone and really focus.
Speaker 2.
There isn't anything special about our current office space that differentiates it from any other office right now. It doesn't say anything about our business. We say we're innovative, fun-loving, and tech-savvy, so that message should be loud and clear in our office design, in the furniture, and in the artwork on the walls. Let's make sure potential clients and recruits see and feel what we're about when they walk through the doors. The company values work-life balance for staff, and I'd like more flexible working hours, and the chance to work from home a few days a week rather than the current presenteeism, so I can pick my young son up from school every day.
Speaker 3.
The kitchen is a tiny, windowless room with grey walls. Nobody wants to spend more time there than strictly necessary. Then there are vending machines in the corridor, but no sitting areas. I'd provide free fruit in public areas, and let's get away from people eating at their desks. Apart from anything else, it's smelly. The best ideas aren't going to come when sitting in front of your monitor, but from those chance interactions and exchanges between staff. We need to create welcoming public spaces, such as a kitchen dining room, where staff from different departments can actually mingle and communicate. Let's make sure to have plenty of space for socializing and collaboration. How about a ping-pong table and attractive outside spaces as well?
Business Workshop 2. Recording 1. Speaker 1.
So, you're asking about window displays? Well, I think this is something the company could improve. Closed zones design and quality are great, but I'd like to see more innovation in the window displays because it's what makes you go into a store when you're walking down the high street.
Speaker 2.
We have some special offers and promotions, but our competitors, for example, organize special days in their stores every season with clothes at 50% off. That attracts a lot of interest. I know this heavy discounting doesn't increase sales that much, but it works really well to raise brand awareness. We did have a special event for the store opening. It was a lot of work, but it was great. There was a local band playing and staff gave out free t-shirts to customers. Another thing is, I think we should organize some kind of promotional event in months like November and February to promote the store. Those months are very quiet for us.
Speaker 3.
I think fast fashion retailers do a lot to market their clothes at mostly women. I get bored with seeing the same kinds of adverts that are targeted at girls. I think they should aim their campaigns at guys too. For example, I like going shopping with my girlfriend. Also, when men go shopping, we often buy two of the same thing if we really like it. So, that's good business. Perhaps they need more engaging marketing campaigns for guys.
Speaker 4.
What do I think of their customer service? Well, shop assistants sometimes seem too busy to help customers when you're trying on clothes in the fitting rooms. I mean, you might want to try on a different colour or size, and you're not with a friend, so it's difficult. I think they need to employ more staff in the store. But I love their mobile app, and it's dead easy to use. The design is really cool because you can check out the clothes and mix and match them online before you come to the shop.
Speaker 5.
Well, I worked in the Berlin store. It's difficult because there are a lot of high street fashion stores in Berlin. It's very competitive. But we worked really hard. When we first opened, it used to be fun. Then a couple of my colleagues left last month because of the long working hours. We have to work from 9 to 7 on Saturdays too. And even some Sundays. I don't know about Japan. I think they only get 2 weeks of holiday every year there. But in Germany, workers expect a break and longer holidays, you know?
Speaker 6.
What could we improve at Close Zone? The main problem I have as a store manager is that staff turnover is pretty high. Some young people start working in fashion thinking it's going to be good fun, trying on clothes all the time. They don't realize you're on your feet all day and you have to be polite to the customers all the time, even when they complain and return items. I need staff who understand fashion, although, to be honest, a lot of the people I interview aren't even aware of our brand. They confuse us with other high street stores. I think we need to improve brand awareness to attract both more customers and staff.
Business Workshop 3. Recording 1. Amalia.
Is this webcam on? Oh, right. So, why should you hire me? Well, I have to say I think I'm hardworking, I'm reliable, and I'm highly qualified. I have a background in marketing and a lot of experience in different sectors. I also speak various languages, so that will be very useful for an international company like Media Solutions. I would like to work for you because I think I'm good at communicating, especially writing, and I could contribute to your communications department with my ideas and improve the presence of your clients in social media. That's all really. Thanks for listening. Oh, and please call me if you'd like me to come in for an interview.
Birte.
Why should you hire me? Because I'm a people person. I'm not only sociable, but also really creative. And if you hired me, I would give 110%, and I would get on with all the team and the clients too. Another thing you should know about me is I'm really into sports and martial arts, as you can see. You can check out some of my videos and social media on how to do sports training. I love social media and dedicate a lot of time to it. It's the way everyone communicates nowadays. What else? I've got a degree in marketing. I did an internship at my dad's company, and I learned a lot. I'm a fast learner. I don't have lots of experience, but I think it's more important to have the right attitude and just get out there and do it. Why should you hire me? Because I'm worth it. Call me for an interview and please give me the chance to tell you more.
Cindy.
So, you'd like to know why you should hire me? That's a good question. Looking at my CV, you might think I don't have any relevant experience, but I do have experience in managing people. I have to communicate in my job every day, where I'm responsible for a team of 40 people, talking to different departments and dealing with difficult customers. I'm good at working under pressure, so you can depend on me to write those reports on time. Oh, sorry. Just a minute. Another consideration is that I'm a big fan of social media. I write a blog in my free time, although I don't have that many followers yet. I'm also studying marketing online in the evenings. So, if you hire me, I will help you to find the best solutions for you and your clients and improve their online presence with the contributions of key opinion leaders and influencers. Thank you for considering my application, and I look forward to your call.
Business Workshop 3. Recording 2. Amalia.
My proudest achievement? That's a difficult question. I think it was the time when I graduated from university. No, sorry. I think my proudest moment was when I organised a charity event for homeless people in my town. It was a lot of work, but the response from the public was tremendous, and we raised over £4,000. I was responsible for organising the social media campaign and talking to the press. I think I did a good job, and my family told me they were very proud of me. It was a brilliant experience that made me want to work in social media.
Birte.
My proudest achievement has to be when I started a social media campaign about young people with eating disorders. I started posting a video every day with tips for having a healthy diet. But it was all about feeling good, not making life more difficult for yourself. There's a lot of contradictory advice about health tips on the internet. You know, people say different things, and that confuses people. Then I suddenly got thousands of followers on social media, and I realized that my videos and advice on doing exercise and having a healthy diet were making a difference. To give you an example, I received one post from a young woman who was in hospital at the time, and she wrote saying that I was an inspiration to her. And that made me feel really proud of what I was doing. My blog was really helping people, you know.
Cindy.
That's an interesting question. I'm not sure. I think it was when there was a problem while I was still working as an intern. There was a public transport strike, and lots of people were phoning the department and complaining. There was a lack of information, and we were getting very negative comments on social media and from the press, and a lot of my colleagues didn't seem very interested. Then we had a crisis meeting, and the team decided to work hard until late at night to solve problems and to deal with all the emails and phone calls from the public. But I took the initiative to start writing replies to the negative posts on social media. So we improved our company image, and my boss thanked me in front of the whole team. And because of me, the department started taking social media more seriously. I felt really proud. I was just the intern.
Business Workshop 4. Recording 1.
As the supermarket wars continue, we take a look at 3 major supermarket chains to find out about their strategies. Upmarket food retailer White's has introduced a loyalty scheme to provide better value to members, rather than lowering its prices and entering into a price war with discounters. It has also expanded its own brand range and promises price matches with the own brands of other major supermarket chains, like Mulberry's. However, the CEO has announced that it will also continue to invest £400 million each year on weekly special offers and price promotions, rather than cutting prices permanently. She said White's will continue to focus on an excellent in-store service as well as high-quality product ranges. The supermarket is making a major move into food to go to meet the needs of busy consumers. Food retail giant Mulberry's is still finding it hard to adapt to both increased competition from discounters and changing consumer shopping habits. Its back-to-basics strategy includes selling off non-core activities, such as in-store restaurants, and it will also stop selling clothes and consumer electronics. The chain is also spending less on special promotions in order to simplify its strategy, and is cutting the number of products to 20,000 to cut costs. Mulberry's smaller convenience stores and its online store have seen good sales growth, but falling food prices continue to reduce profit margins. Latest figures show its market share remains flat at 16%. The discounter C&C has achieved spectacular sales growth in recent years. While the other main players in the retail food market have been closing supermarkets, C&C has just announced its ambitious expansion plan, including the construction of 50 new stores. The chain also said that it will refurbish 150 existing stores over the next 3 to 4 years in order to attract more customers. The retailer is also doubling its product range and including more fresh meat and a new own-brand low-price luxury range to rival the main supermarket chains. With these major investments, it remains to be seen if C&C will also have to change its lowest price strategy.
Business Workshop 5. Recording 1.
So, Ted, what I'm saying is we need automation for selecting and lifting heavy furniture from high shelves.
But we've been doing that with forklift trucks for years.
The thing is, there have been more accidents in the warehouse recently because of the increased numbers of orders. Staff are constantly doing overtime. They can't handle the work, and goods are damaged.
Okay, but the items have to be packed carefully, and this should still be done manually.
Yes, I agree.
And if we introduce robotics technology to avoid breakage, we have to make sure the supplier provides training. If not, we'll have robots going out of control.
Don't worry, both suppliers say they'll provide training.
So, tell me about these providers. Were they recommended?
Yes, I had recommendations from my contacts in car companies. One here in Poznań and one in Germany.
Good.
One of the providers is a robotics developer from Singapore, and the other is Japanese.
Japan, huh? They are going to be expensive.
Both offer quality automation and training. We have to move with the times, Ted.
I know, but I'm worried about costs and maintenance. What do we do when the robots break down? What happens if we need maintenance? Are there local people who can fix it, or will they send a guy from Singapore?
Those are good questions. That's why I've arranged interviews with the suppliers tomorrow. You have a teleconference with the supplier from Singapore, and I'll talk to the one from Japan. Then we'll compare notes.
All right. And what are your main concerns, Anna?
I think there will be some problems with the transition when we'll have to deal with the old system and the new technology at the same time.
Human resources say there will be a negative reaction from the employees. People are worried about the robots taking their jobs.
I know, but we need this automation if we're going to stay competitive. And they'll learn new skills.
Well, human resources want to discuss possible job losses. Unfortunately, I don't see all of our workers continuing with robots. But I agree, some employees can be retrained. So tell me a bit more about these suppliers.
Well, Nova Robot is based in Singapore. They do industrial automation.
And the Japanese one?
The Japanese supplier is called Bot Automation. They're based in Osaka and also focus on robotics design and...
We are going to be taken over by robots. If my father saw this company now...
Your father would want the company to be successful. It's going to make everything much easier, Ted. Trust me.
Business Workshop 5. Recording 2. Supplier A.
So, I understand you are specialists in industrial automation, Mr. King. And you have worked with clients in the automotive industry in Germany.
That's right. And we have worked with clients in Poland, too.
Good. That will be an advantage.
As I explained to your logistics manager, I'm sure we can help you manage your logistics more efficiently using artificial intelligence.
So, how do you work? How will the robots be installed?
The way we work is that automation systems are installed in 2 phases.
2 phases? Why is that?
This allows for an easy, smooth transition between manual and automated systems. Your warehouse will have to stop operations for 3 days during each phase of the installation.
But we can't lose 6 working days.
We appreciate that. So to minimize the effects on production, this work can be done at the weekend.
From Friday to Sunday?
That's right.
And what happens if something goes wrong? Do you have technicians who can do maintenance at no extra cost?
First of all, we offer a 2-year guarantee. Many robotics companies offer less. There are sometimes technical problems, usually because operators are not used to the system. Any failure will be repaired by Nova Robot technicians during this period. We also do a maintenance inspection free of charge once a year.
That's good to know. But what happens when this 2-year guarantee ends?
Our robots are made to last for years, Mr. Valentovich. But I recommend you contact our after-sales service. That way you can call an emergency hotline and speak to an engineer 24 hours a day.
I'll need to talk to our logistics manager. Could you send me the details and costs of your after-sales service?
Yes, of course.
And I'd like to know about training.
Basic training is provided during installation. After that, our technicians deal with any problems via email or video conference. You'll also have a maintenance inspection once a year.
Well, I think we are going to consider your proposal. And then, if we accept your offer, you can visit our warehouse and discuss what we need.
Can I ask, when do you think that will be?
The logistics manager will contact you.
We hope we can do business with you. Thank you for your time, Mr. Valentovich.
You are welcome, Mr. King. Goodbye.
Supplier B.
Thank you for showing an interest in us, Mrs. Wozniak.
I see your team has won awards.
That's right. We are innovators in robotics design.
But I'd like to know how your company differs from the competition.
If you choose us, we can provide solutions in many areas. Mobile robotics, motor control, and industrial automation. We are an ISO-certified company.
I see.
And we give customized solutions.
That's good to hear.
And specialist engineers assess your needs and then adapt the mobile robotics to your warehouse.
Great. So you adapt to our specific needs.
That's right.
And what about installation? How will that work? I imagine there will be a transition period when we still operate manually, while the employees learn to use the new system.
Not exactly.
Could you clarify that?
Sorry, but we don't have a transition period. We find it causes confusion. We suggest your warehouse stops operations for 6 to 7 consecutive days.
7 days? That much time?
We recommend, for example, from Saturday to Friday. This can be done over a public holiday or in the summer.
Well, that's not ideal. And what about training?
2 specialist technicians provide the training after the installation period. Manuals in English are also provided. That way, any basic maintenance can be solved later on by your own staff.
Good. And what about the guarantee?
We offer an 18-month guarantee.
Only 18 months? But what happens after that? Or if the equipment breaks down?
Technicians from bot automation can help via an emergency hotline and teleconference. We guarantee our technicians will visit your warehouse in 36 hours if complex maintenance is needed during the first 18 months.
But not after that.
That depends.
Do you mean there will be an additional cost for the after-sales service when the guarantee ends?
That's correct.
Well, I'd like to discuss your offer with our director, and then we'll get back to you.
Of course. But remember, if you order a fourth robot, we will offer you a discount for the after-sales service.
That's good to know. Excuse me, I'm afraid I have another meeting now.
Please contact me if you have any questions, Miss Wozniak.
Thank you, Mr. Izumi. We'll be in touch.
Business Workshop 6. Recording 1.
Hi guys, I'm Ben Fisher, and my award-winning theatre company performs at events and festivals all over the world. We bring the works of famous German writers and dramatists such as Bertolt Brecht to audiences across the globe. In true dramatic style, our latest production of Brecht's The Good Person of Sichuan has just been hit by disaster. An electrical fire destroyed the arts centre where we were performing in London and took with it all our costumes and equipment. Fortunately, nobody was in the building at the time and nobody was injured in the fire. We know one day the insurance company will eventually pay the compensation to rebuild and replace everything, but we need to complete our world tour now and can't wait round for the money to arrive. Can you help us? We need to raise 10,000 euros in the next few weeks to replace everything. I promise all donations to our course will be repaid when we receive the insurance payout. Not only that, depending on the size of your donation, you will receive discounts on tickets and even free tickets to see our play in any city of your choice on the tour. Just see our website for more details. As Brecht himself once said, everyone needs help from everyone. By contributing to our disaster fund, you will be doing your bit to support community arts and help our young theatre group to literally rise from the ashes. Thank you.
My name's Alison Chadwick, and this is my story. I started my t-shirt business, Alison's Tees, back in university, as a hobby. Friends and fellow students used to ask me where I got my t-shirts from, and when I told them I designed them myself, everyone said that was cool. Then I thought, anyone can design their own t-shirt. It's simple, it's fun, and it's creative. On my website, you can choose the color and style, but more than that, you can have any design or logo you like printed on it, including photos to make your very own unique t-shirt. Friends will be amazed. Before we finally produce the t-shirt, you'll receive a photo of the design for final approval. No more shopping for hours looking for something you actually like. No more low-quality, shop-bought products. All our t-shirts are 100% organic cotton and ethically sourced. We're helping independent cotton farmers. We work hand in hand with our suppliers to ensure highest quality tees. Thanks to previous crowdfunding, our business has been a big success. Now we need your support and your money to help us develop our mobile app so our users can design and order their own tees on their smartphones, anytime, anywhere.
If you like traveling, You'll love our new tour guide mobile app. It's like an audio guide, but on your mobile phone, so you carry it with you all the time. I'm Marcos Lopez, and I'm one of the founders of Holidap. It's the ultimate travel companion. It's like having an audio guide, but on your smartphone. You'll never want to buy another guidebook or tourist map again in your life. You'll find out about the places you're visiting whenever you want, in a new, original, and entertaining way. Our app is free to download and quick and easy to use. Enter the desired location, and for just €10, you will get an expert guide to one of over 30 destinations in Europe and the USA. And the list of places is growing longer each month. The guide features audio tours by experts in their towns, from qualified tour guides to local storytellers of all ages, with a passion for the place where they live. Our platform is free to our guide contributors, and they receive 70% of the revenues generated by their guides. Each travel guide on our app comes with high-quality photographs and can use your geolocation to help you get the most from your guide. We need your backing to help us cover the cost of production, audio recording, programming, and photography. We'd also love to hear what you think of the guides so we can keep improving our service. Thank you.
Business Workshop 7. Recording 1. Speaker 1.
Oh, when the Dutch managers visited our office, it was very nice. We had good conversations about our respective traditions, our families and food. They loved our Indian food. Regarding business, I would say that we're like one big family here. I have cousins, uncles and aunties in the office working here, and so we work very well together. I realize it's different in Europe, but this is how we work in this country. We trust each other. It's just the way it is. Our business relationships are based on trust. The only thing is that they kept insisting about the report for the latest sales figures. And I said it wasn't a problem. No problem at all. We'll have the report ready soon. I told them not to worry about that. You can't say no, or that's not possible to a visitor, can you? That would be terribly impolite.
Speaker 2.
We got on very well with the managers from Betker Finance. It was great seeing them face to face. Perhaps here in the south we're not as punctual as they are. But that doesn't mean we're less productive. In fact, I think we're much better at multitasking. I find Northern Europeans tend to do only one thing at a time. You know, they're only focused on one thing, which seems a bit limiting if something important suddenly comes up. For example, as the sales manager in my region, I have to manage a large team of people and juggle different tasks at the same time. So it's normal that when I'm in a meeting with a colleague, I might have interruptions, like an urgent phone call or someone from the office comes in to ask me something. It's the way we work. But I don't think our Dutch colleagues had a good first impression of us, and we're great believers in first impressions.
Business Workshop 7. Recording 2. Speaker 3.
When the sales manager came from headquarters, he just said, "Hi, how is it going?" And he got down to business right away, talking about figures and KPIs, you know, key performance indicators. Actually, there was no time to reply, or even for me to ask him the same thing. It was very direct and abrupt, which surprised me. I know it's good to be efficient and have a purpose in a meeting, but in our culture, we always make conversation before getting down to business. I often ask the visitor about events in their country and find out about their interests and maybe their family. It's important to get to know the other person to establish a good atmosphere. I mean, we all want to do business with people we like, don't we?
Speaker 4.
When the sales representative came from Becker Finance, it was quite difficult because she talked a lot about the new products, which were very interesting, but I had the impression that she didn't understand our market so well. And at the end of the first meeting, she thought we had finished. We had just begun. She also asked me many questions which I couldn't answer because I needed to get approval from my boss. So when I said at the end of our conversation that I needed to check everything with him, she seemed a little annoyed. I felt bad about that, and we thought she was staying for the week, so we would have time to discuss the new products with the team and adapt them for our market, but she left after a couple of days. Then she sent me an email confirming points that we hadn't agreed on. I tried to explain that we do business as a team and everything has to be confirmed by my bosses. I hope our next meeting will be more harmonious.
Business Workshop 8. Recording 1. Employee 1. Chris Martinez.
Have you had any thoughts about your current training needs, Chris?
Well, these days I'm responsible for formulating our long-term business plans, and as you know, I report directly to the Chief Financial Officer. I've done a lot of generic training courses in core management skills over the years. Now I need something more practical than sitting down all day in a training room, looking at PowerPoint slides and doing role plays.
I see. So regular training courses are not of interest to you?
No. I want to tie my leadership development to my real-world projects. It'd be good to be able to build up a network with other senior managers in Gruppo Tula around the world to share ideas and problems and solutions.
So a support network of peers would interest you?
That's right. We can learn a lot from each other's experiences. One key role of senior executives is managing change, and I think we can support each other with this. It would be good to get the perspective of executives with diverse cultural and business perspectives.
At the same time, you have a great deal of knowledge and expertise which you could pass on.
Yes, that's true. Of course, I believe that talent development should be a part of a senior manager's job. It's just getting the time to do it, isn't it?
Employee 2. Alex Cortez.
What type of training would interest you, Alex, and why?
My job essentially is to make sure the day-to-day business runs smoothly, which includes overseeing a lot of stuff. I know the technical side of my job well, so I'd like to do something new to improve my leadership skills. I want to help my staff develop, get better results from them, and not just focus on completing a task.
Right. So you want to help your staff improve their performance?
That's it.
Anything else you might like to do?
Yes, well, a big part of my work is negotiating deals with suppliers and clients, and more of them are outside Mexico nowadays. I can see why the company has adopted English as the official language since the merger, but I don't feel as confident communicating in English as I do in Spanish, particularly in meetings and when I'm giving presentations. I know I'm really going to need to do something to improve my fluency if I'm going to progress through management levels in the future.
Yes, I think a lot of people are going to want more English language training now. By the way, have you been back to Spain recently?
No, but my parents are coming here next month. It will be good to see them again.
I can imagine.
Employee 3. Danny Lee.
So, Danny, how are you adapting to life in Mexico? A bit different from Wisconsin, right?
It's been great. Everyone's so helpful and friendly.
That's good to hear. Now, tell me a bit about yourself. I see you have a degree in business administration and started here 6 months ago in the sales division. How's that going?
I really love the work, but I'm not always sure what I'm supposed to be doing or if I'm focusing on the right things. I have so many demands on my time, and I feel quite stressed by it all. I work really long hours, but I don't think that's what I should be doing either because I have no life outside the office at the end of the day.
I see. That's not good. It sounds like you need some help with those issues.
And you know, I don't know why they didn't teach us more practical computer skills at university, like Excel. It would really help me a lot with my job now.
Maybe some on-the-job training would be an idea? Or an online course?
Yeah, I'm sure I could pick it up quickly enough with some help. I'm really keen to learn as much as I can. At the moment, I don't manage any staff, but I'm quite ambitious. I'd like to lead a team one day, so I'd like to know more about what that involves.
Optional extension activity. Business Workshop 8. Recording 1. 1.
I've done a lot of generic training courses in core management skills.
2.
I want to tie my leadership development to my real-world projects.
3.
You have a great deal of knowledge and expertise which you could pass on.
4.
My job essentially is to make sure that the day-to-day business runs smoothly.
5.
Which includes overseeing a lot of stuff.
6.
I can see why the company has adopted English as the official language.
7.
Maybe some on-the-job training would be an idea.
8.
I'm sure I could pick it up quickly enough.
Unit 1. Pronunciation. Recording 1. 1.
Program. Website.
2.
Manager. Marketing.
3.
Advertising. Operator.
4.
Involves. Report.
5.
Director. Resources.
6.
Coordinate. Responsible.
Unit 1. Pronunciation. Recording 2. 1A.
Are you very busy at the moment?
1B.
Are you very busy at the moment?
2A.
Where are you based?
2B.
Where are you based?
3A.
Do you travel a lot for work?
3B.
Do you travel a lot for work?
Unit 1. Pronunciation. Recording 3. 1.
Are you very busy at the moment?
2.
Where are you based?
3.
Do you travel a lot for work?